We going? We going? I don't even know if there's a ticker on this. All right, fuck it. We're going.
Looks like it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Red Cup Review. We're running mad late. There's the ticker. And as you can see, I got my corporate tie on. I couldn't get the suit together this week, everybody. But I got my Chippendales tie on, as says my buddy Kyle here. It's been a while since Kyle's been on the show. Welcome back, buddy.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Awesome. And how are you doing, buddy?
Good. I got a big toy haul to show off when we get to that section. Lots of stuff came in recently, and I'm still sort of recovering jet lag wise from my trip overseas.
That's awesome. All right, so before we get to that, because I want to get to the you want to do your haul first, or you want to do the trip first?
Dealer's choice. It's your show.
All right, we're going to do that. I want to get right into the topic of the show, but before we do that, I want to ask everybody to please like the video, please subscribe to the page if you haven't already, and join the Facebook or official Red Cup Review, The Rebellion, because that's where you can catch us during the week for all sorts of antics and stuff like that. I hope everybody's enjoying Spooktacular so far. That seems to be like the big deal going on this week, and we'll get to that a little later on. Right now, we're going to be talking to Mr. Kyle here about his wonderful trip overseas. Kyle, bring us in.
All right, so the company that I work for decided to take myself and the rest of the toy design team to our manufacturing partners in China, which was it was my first time out of the country, period. So that was it was a very eye-opening experience, and in a very good way. I guess I realized how easy it is to sort of demonize when you've never left where the country you're in. So just kind of beyond whatever business design type learning that I did, which was a lot, there was just a little bit of personal learning of like, this is how the world sort of works. And so we were gone for 8 days. We flew into Hong Kong and then crossed the border into China, where all of the manufacturing partners are.
Nice. So Hong Kong's like the main city, and then all the factories are obviously located.
Yeah, well, I mean, remember, Hong Kong's a separate country, technically.
Right.
I think. And we got in, we had a free day to walk around the city, which was really, really cool. We actually went toy shopping in Hong Kong.
Nice.
Because that's, Hot Toys is a Hong Kong company. So
next time you go there, bro. I was saying that too because I was catching your pictures, and I was like, I should have told the son of a. I should have wired you money, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Like, it was probably they're not like stupid cheap where it's like irresponsible not to buy them, but it was like definitely cheaper than pre-ordering and going through the whole thing. I had a small freak out because I was at this toy mall and I saw a guy had posted pictures of that Toys Era Joker.
Okay. Nice.
And I was like, where is this? Do you have this? I'll buy it right now and take it with me because I want this so bad. And he was like, it's a pre-order. I was like, dang it. But it was only like 400 Hong Kong dollars, which is like
6 cents.
No, it's like $60 or something like that.
That's insane.
Which was nuts. Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
But that might have just been the pre-order price. Even so, it was like, even if it was like 1,000 Hong Kong dollars, that's like, okay, $150.
Yeah, that is crazy, the currency exchange rate. So, all right, so you go in. So give us very quickly, what is the difference, not what's the difference between here and China, but like any cultural differences that kind of slapped you in the face right off the bat?
Let's see. Well, the fact that most everybody speaks English and sometimes, more often than not, would accept like American dollars is like pretty cool because like I don't know, it kind of sucks. So, like in America, if like some dude came in and was like, oh, like I'm from Mexico, do you speak Spanish? Most people are like, no, get the hell out of here. What are you doing? You're like, oh, well, I don't have any American dollars. Could I pay you in pesos? You're like, no, what are you doing? Get out of here. Whereas like in China, Hong Kong, they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, we don't care. And most of them speak English and they're very accommodating to foreign, like, I don't know, just visitors, travelers, foreign like tongues and currencies. Whereas like, I don't know, I just noticed that about America. Like, you can't do that at all.
Right. Yeah.
You're here, you use American dollars, you speak American. Yeah. So I was like, wow, like, look how accommodating they're being to like ignorant dicks like me who don't know how to speak any other languages or have any other money or whatever.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what though. At the same time, like, there is that like American arrogance, right, on the outside of the world, right? Like we always think of ourselves as like the WWE champion, and everyone else is like intercontinental or less, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny because I could almost see myself doing that inadvertently.
Mm.
Like if somebody came up to me, I would be like, "Huh? What?" You know, like.
Yeah, exactly. But they were very, very nice. I like that they use for like smaller units of currency, like $1, $2, $5. It's coins, and they're like substantial coins instead of like more paper money or whatever. And there's no like, there is, but there's like 2 like cents pieces. You know, we have like 10, 5, 25 like quarters and stuff.
Right.
They have like a $50, and that's it.
So what is it, like the old West? You just drop a bag of change on the counter. Like,
there was a couple taxi rides where we just like handed him a stack of coins. It felt like The Witcher or something. It was kind of cool.
Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, and Hong Kong is like a little more like modernized and just more English speaking and stuff. Because I mean, they used to be a colony till like 1999 or whatever. They were like a British colony. So they speak a lot of English. English is required in their schools, and they're the only part of China that has the cars, the driver's seats on the right side instead of the left. Everywhere else in China is on the left.
Everywhere else in the world is on the left, and we're like it's like us in Hong Kong are on the right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild. It's good stuff. All right, before we go into the now I want to switch gears and get you right into speaking about the factories and stuff like the actual on-hand stuff. I want to address everybody in the chat right now. Kev's Matrix, what's going on? Trevor McGuire, what's happening? How are you? Edwin Diaz is the man. Joseph M, what's up, guys? Good to see you. Okay, bam. Trevor McGuire, for you, they have malls for toys?
They do. Wow. There's a couple of them actually. There's a couple places. The most significant one that we went to was a place called Inn's Palace, which is in downtown Hong Kong off of Nathan Road, which is like 4 stories of just like mini shopping places. I have a bunch of photos that I'm going to post in the Red Cup Review Facebook group, so you guys can look through all those. I posted them on my personal feed, but I'll send them to you guys so you can check out what I'm talking about. But they have these little tiny shops inside of this giant mall, and every single one of those shops is like wall to wall, like shoved full of toys with like post-it notes and prices and all this stuff, and everybody does something different, and it's crazy like how many toys are in there. It was awesome. We spent a lot of time there. I actually picked up a hot toy in a way, but sort of not. They're not really around out here, but I got the Cos Baby Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
And he's got little magnet feet, so you can put them on your fridge and hang them upside down, which is cool. And he's a little bobblehead because even Hong Kong toy manufacturers have to obey the laws of Hasbro and can't have a non-bobblehead Marvel figure.
Is that like I don't understand that. Why is that a thing?
So Hasbro's got like that master toy license for Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do an articulated action figure of Marvel, you can't because they have a master toy license. So if you want to do something like this, it's got to be a bobblehead. So now it's a different category. That's why all the Marvel Funko Pops are bobbleheads too.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Licensing nonsense. This one also has, like, you can see the seam line. He's got a cloth wraparound on his head.
Nice.
And then he also came with our boy Jake.
Nice. That's cool. How's the effect on the inside of the helmet?
What was that?
Pretty good. Like the smoke effect. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just a little injected piece, and then the clear domes on top of it. You can sort of see the seam a little bit, but it doesn't bug me that much.
Seam gate. All these things have seams, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Kez Matrix, were you the tallest guy in Hong Kong? LOL.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", and
You're like one of the tallest guys everywhere, though. To guys like me.
I'm not that. There's some dudes who are ginormous. No, I was definitely one of the larger people out there, and like I was with one of my coworkers, and they were like, "Man, like I don't feel skinny at home, but like I feel big here."
You were like a wrestler walking around, right?
Pretty much.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Kev's Matrix. Am I the only dude who hated the Joker? Probably. I loved it. Did you like it?
No, I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't want to just keep going off on tangents, and then I kind of fell back on you. Rob's watching. What's up, Rob? Where's Baz? Baz is going to be late. He'll be on like the second half of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So many hard not to buy like huge Transformers. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, when you have just a tiny suitcase, it makes it really easy.
Right. Yeah. True. Okay. So now take us into you're working, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What's the next part of your trip like?
Yeah, it sounds like vacation, but most of the time is working. So first one we go. So we hit like 5 factories over the whole. There you go. Like 5 factories over. Is it 5? Yeah, 5 factories over the entire trip. Basically, like 1 per day.
Why are you going to 5 different factories? Is it because your company's working with 5 different factories, or because you're scouting?
Both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. So we went to first factory is a little bit larger scale. I can't say any of the names of the factories because that doesn't help. I can't say what factories are doing what with who. That's just not fair. But first factory, very, very large scale, lots of automation, which is crazy to think about. And this factory does like some of the biggest toy lines in the world, working for some of the biggest manufacturers in the world. If you know anything about toys, you probably know who I'm talking about.
So hold on. Now, I know you can't say certain things, but I'm not tied to any of this, so I'm going to tell you what I'm imagining right now.
Sure.
And that's you're in like this giant, like ridiculously big factory, all these big machines, something that's kind of like at the end, like a mixture of the end of the first Terminator movie mixed with like more toy-oriented conveyor belts, machines dropping things and them getting either sprayed and
a little bit of that. Kind of almost like Attack of the Clones.
Oh, actually automatically building them? Oh, wow, okay.
Some of it. With that one, there's still some parts that have to be assembled by hand, but like there was one that place had this huge printer that was working on a figure that had tattoos, and so it like had these 2 conveyor belts, and it was just these torso pieces, and all these torso pieces were going on these conveyor belts. And then you see inside of this giant hood, there's 2 cameras that are looking at these torso pieces and like identifying through whatever AI system, like which torso piece is in the right position for the automated arm to like go grab it, pick it up, put it into like the scanner, identify it. Yes, this one's correct. There's no flaws on it. Pull it back out, put it onto the painting like rack. Then it goes on another conveyor belt, and like this big rubber stamp comes down, tattoo, other tattoo, arm comes back, pulls it back, tosses it in a bin.
Now, what you mean by tattoo? It would be like a wrestling
as a tempo
that has like a print or ink on the body.
Yeah, so like here, all of this detail on his cape, that is printed on by the same system. Where so basically it would be here, then the big rubber stamp goes. And then he goes here, and then all right, now he's done.
Right. All right, cool, very cool, good shit.
Yeah. So that's the most automated one, and then the next day we went to a factory that had a lot of our stuff that we're working on, and so it was we were in a comp. We got to see the tour, which was a lot because it's a little less automated. Most of the stuff is done by hand, and it's kind of crazy how much of it is still done by hand, like painting clothes and eyes and all that, but there's still like the big automated prints for like what they can do, but like the finesse parts like teeth or eyes and pupils, that's still done by hand on a lot of these like slightly lower tech places. So we did that tour, which was awesome. I got to see like injection molding machines, which are crazy.
Okay.
And I think I've talked about it, but I got to finally see it in like firsthand. So there's these things called, I think I've talked about these things called tools, which are huge steel molds. And with our stuff, is a lot of it's smaller. So our molds are probably this big, by this big, but they weigh 400 pounds.
Wow.
Like basically the size of my toaster, but 500 pounds, and it's this big clap thing. And so to move it anywhere, you have to like hook it on a chain and like use like the rafter system to like get it to where it needs to go. Then you put it in the machine, and then the injection machine is basically the size of a car. So imagine a big room with like 20 car-sized machines all shooting plastic into these big steel molds or whatever. And so we got to see that, how that all works, and then like.
So if I had to guess, the what you would have a sculptor, right, who sculpts something, and then in order to get it to the mold, what they would do, I'm picturing this in my head, this big slab of steel, right, the size of your toaster. They have to probably use like some kind of computer 3D thing to like cut it out with a laser or something.
There's that method, but there's also like I have not seen it made before, and I've only heard how it's been talked about. But there's kind of like 5 or 6 different steps. So you do your sculpture like digital. You print it out in 3D printing or whatever. They then cast that in like another 3D, like another output material that's kind of like a resin, and then they use that to then create like a steel version of it. And then they put that steel in like a chamber, and then they pour molten steel around it, and it makes that. So it's like a 5/6 to the mold part.
That's why these things probably cost like $20,000 per thing.
Yeah, the mold making is usually the most expensive part.
Right.
Action figures. But then like when they do that, they usually have to break it apart. Has anybody in the chat or even you like made a Gundam model before?
I've seen them made, like I've seen pieces laid out.
Where it comes all flat like that on the sprue or whatever. All of your action figures are made like that. So we got to see the injection molding.
It's funny you say that, because when I see like an assembled action figure of, let's say, either a G.I. Joe or an old school He-Man or something, right? Looks like a solid figure, right? Then when you look at these Gundam models, or at least in my head, I always, because it came in pieces and I had to build it, I was like, what is this shit? Like, it seems like it's like not going to fit together right. It's just like parts everywhere. So if you're telling me and everyone here that this is how every action figure is kind of built, so these Gundam model builds, especially the really good ones, is pretty much like you're making your own action figure. Like
Yeah, pretty much. And that's how you can get them pretty cheap, because they're not painted. You assemble them yourself. I mean, if you did that with any other thing, it would be, way cheap. It would be way cheaper for a Marvel Legend. You could get, a Marvel Legend for like, $5 to $10, but you're painting it and building it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll be very brief with this, but ultimately, like, when we got to see the mold, and then it comes apart, and then they pull it out, and they drop it immediately in cold water because it's like stupid hot, because it's molten plastic that has dried at that point, and it looks like this.
Oh, so that looks like the way the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle weapons, when you had to like twist them off the plastic thing, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost exactly like that.
Nice. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's after it cools, right? It goes into the water. It cools even on those things, like attached like that.
Yep. And then somebody will pull those pieces off, clean them up, and then put them into these giant bins for a later stage of assembly.
What are they doing? Sanding down after they twist those pieces?
Cutting it off, sanding it down, making sure it looks good. There's no flashing. The plastic isn't swirling incorrectly. Things like that.
Oh, okay, cool. And then it goes. So when they're actually making these molds, so it's not just a mold of an iPhone. It's a mold of like the glass, the plastic on the back, this little camera piece, all kind of put together, like not assembled, kind of.
Yeah. A good way to think about it is, everybody here, I'm assuming, has seen, Iron Man and all those Marvel movies and whatnot. There's kind of, there's a couple of times where he's working with his holograms and he'll go be like, Jarvis, show me an exploded view, and it goes poof, like that.
Right.
That's basically how they build your action figure in the tool, and then they assemble it later.
Ah, okay. So it's not like just a bunch of heads or a bunch of torsos. It's heads, torsos, arms, feet, everything in this block that gets cooled.
Or several blocks, yeah, depending on what colors need to get injected where.
Ah, okay, cool.
So, I mean, like, if you're making, like, a Spider-Man, you could be like, all right, cool, his feet, his hands, and his head are all going to be injected in red plastic. But his torso, his arms, and his legs are going to be injected in blue, and then we'll paint the rest of the boots and the gloves and the costume in red on the blue part. That makes sense.
Yeah, because then it minimizes the amount of painting and all that other stuff that goes into. Wow, all right, very cool. It says, all right, Rob Josephine says, does NECA do that process? I would imagine pretty much everyone does this process.
Again, I can't say whose product I saw, but I can guarantee, yes, they do the exact same process.
Right. I'm sure this is how stuff is just made, pretty much,
Yeah, there were a lot of crossover at the factories that I went to. It's like, oh, you were doing your stuff, and we're doing these guys and these guys and these guys, and we can also do these formats and these formats. And they were in production as we were there. Yeah,
Chad from Tweeterhead, who we got to try to get on here, goes live too from time to time. And he talks about, like, when he went to this is me just watching him talk, when he went to the factories, he's like, I'm there to see the Tweeterhead Batman get made, or the Catwoman that, like, is supposed to be shipped soon. And they're like, oh, there's a delay. And it's like, well, why is there a delay? Because we're dealing with either Hasbro or a Hot Toy or a NECA even, or whatever. And they're all being used and circulated in the same kind of factories, like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We share a lot of studio or factory space with some of the larger companies, for sure.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the biggest of the factories. Like, is there
that was like a medium-sized factory, and then we went to this other factory the next day for a separate project, and we saw this thing that we're working on, which is like ridiculously huge, to the point where they didn't even finish making the molds of it yet, and because the molds of it are so big, they have to be moved by, like, semi-truck, and I'm not kidding. So that was interesting. And then they also took us to their showroom, which showed all the stuff that they've ever made ever. And that includes, like, I will say that this factory has made Sideshow stuff. So I finally, like, got to go to a showroom and see, like, all the Sideshow stuff, the premium format stuff that I've seen online in person for once. And, like, I got to take shit and hold them, and, like, because usually you see them behind glass cases, which is nice, but you don't get to, like, so I got to, like, interact with them, which was, like, highlight for a trip for me. And all my coworkers are like, what are you doing? I'm like, shut up. This is
That's funny, man. How some people will also look at this as just a job, or we're here for serve a purpose, and you're kind of, like, geeking out a little at the same time.
My coworkers definitely had their geek out moments, but, like, with the Sideshow room, everybody was like, what? I was like, no, you don't understand. So.
Right, yeah. I got again, I don't really do statues too much. I know the last review was a statue. Corporate Rob. You go to, like, a comic convention, like New York Comic Con, and from firsthand experience, you see these things behind the glass cases, and you're like, damn, like, I never realize, like, how big and nice they are, right? And then when you actually have it in front of you on your desk, like,
with no one else around,
exactly, you get, like, that, like, holy shit. When I bought years ago, before like when flat screen TVs were like just still starting to come out and like 1080p was the big deal.
Yeah.
I bought my first 1080p TV and it was like 46 inches or 47 inches when my girl, who's now my wife, first moved in together.
Yeah.
I brought it home and she was like, oh my God, this is outrageous. And this is back when like a big screen TV was like 30 inches, 32 inches. And this was like 48 inches or some shit.
Yeah.
And, our eyes started hurting, and I was like, I can't believe how big this is in my living room. And now I'm talking about a 48-inch. Now the TV's like, I got a 65 sitting right here or whatever. And when you're right up on it and you're like intimate with it, it gives it a whole nother level.
It's like what's that old ad where the dude's getting blown away by the sound system.
The Maxwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. You don't even like you don't realize, because like you see pictures of this stuff again. Like I can only speak from personal experience. Like take the premium formats for example. I was like, yeah, all right, there's big statues. They all look cool in the pictures. All this shit looks great. Every hot toy looks great. And then when you get it in hand, and you're like, I showed the statue review that I did recently to a coworker today actually.
Yeah.
And this is a guy I grew up with, and he's like, he thinks that this stuff is cool, but he has no interest in collecting anything. He thinks that like even I overstepped the line into like nerd and geekdom too much. And it's just a coworker, but a guy I knew my whole life. And I show him this, and he's like, "Holy shit, that's your Batman statue!" Like, and this is just in a video. Like, oh, I was like, "Yeah, man." I says, "You should see it in person. It's like it's crazy sometimes when you're right on top of it."
Mm-hmm.
You speaking to your sideshow thing?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I just finally got my own. Not a sideshow, but it's an icon collectibles thing of this band that I like called Ghost. It's like my first statue in that scale, and it's like, whoa! Now I get why people pay $700 or whatever for these premium formats. Because mine was $300,
right?
But like even so, I was like, dang, dude! Like, all right, now I get it. This is pretty sweet.
Well, yeah. I mean, look. I'm not holding. But just be, I'm not going to hold back either. Like 2.5 years ago, premium formats were like $350.
Yeah.
For some reason, here's another thing you could speak to. Why is it all of a sudden things just double in price out of nowhere, or like?
It could be a materials thing. It could be a cost thing. It could just be like, well, we haven't raised the price in this long, and nothing. The thing that you got to remember is nothing is worth $700 or whatever they're asking for until someone pays for it.
Right.
So I mean,
it's only worth what someone else is willing to pay for it, and that's an argument I have sometimes on the Facebook threads about people going scalpers, and it's like, look, man, if the guy can get away with selling a Mezco Joker figure for $250, the deluxe version, can you fault him for it?
No, not at all.
Like, I mean, I got my Joker. I'm not upset, and everybody else is like, steaming because they don't have theirs. But car payment. If you can get, if you're gonna get it, you're gonna pay for it. Why the?
It sucks, especially because we're working and existing and talking about an industry that is mostly supposed to be about fun and talk and collecting and the things that we all love and enjoy or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, they're still businesses. So the number one language that businesses understand is dollars. So if you don't like something, you are waiting. I don't know. I guess I'll go full mean, inspired by Mr. Rob Banks here. You're wasting your breath commenting on Instagram or emailing them about it. Vote with your dollar. Basically,
vote with your dollar. That's it. I do that all the time. Sometimes I can't help myself from not doing it, but like sometimes I just have my little temper tantrum too.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody needs that.
So that's what you do. You bitch a little bit, and then you're like, all right. Like for instance, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to turn this into a political thing. I didn't go and see, and nor have I seen yet, and I will be seeing it probably when I get the Disney Plus, the Captain Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's fun, but I just don't really like the actress's politics, so I stayed away from the theater. But I'll catch it on Disney Plus because it's part of the Marvel thing. Like I'm invested. You know what I'm saying? However, I was like, you know what? I'll just sit this one out. But that's like a small example of like there are other times where I can't even use the Ecto One Ghostbuster Blitzway thing because if I had the room for that, I would buy that shit. I would find a way to get to the $1,600 for it or whatever. But
Yeah.
there are a few things that I want where I'm just like it's like cost balance. Like what's that thing called? Cost something balance where like you have to weigh the
cost benefit
something for a cost benefit, right? Versus the benefit of having it and all that other stuff. Real quick, we're going to have our buddy join us because he's here. Here he comes, fashionably late, but our boy, what's up, dude?
Yeah, there he is.
What's up, man? Howdy ho, cow!
Dang,
up, man?
I really like your hat.
Thank you.
That's-
Sabbath, baby.
That's my favorite thing you've worn
Cool.
ever.
I wear it a lot, though, so
Dang.
I'm not wearing it out.
All right, that's fine.
So,
yeah, I just got back from Fuddruckers, man. I had like the big pound burger.
you got a Fuddruckers down there? That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Why? That's like an exotic thing. Up
No,
there?
it's just like something you don't really see too. Like first of all, you don't ever see that up here, and then it's like another thing I like to eat, but I never get a chance to is Denny's because they just don't have them up here anymore.
That's an East Coast thing for sure.
So
Never been to Fuddruckers, and people on West Coast view Denny's as somewhere you end up, not somewhere you go on purpose.
Yeah, like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
that's the specialtiness of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to. But
for sure.
there was a time when it's not like you would go to the Golden Eagle, Baz. It was like, oh, we're gonna blaze up or get wrecked and then go to the Golden Eagle. Like this is like an old.
Yeah, but the food isn't always that great. It's kind of like a shitty place kind of Denny's. It's not that great. It's okay. I guess it depends on like what Denny's you go to.
Right.
But the service isn't that great. The people that go there aren't that great. It's kind of seedy. I don't know. But Fuddruckers is a high class joint, let me tell you. The burgers are huge, man. They have like specialty burgers. They had an elk burger there. I was like,
oh, nice. I would love to eat that. I would love to try that. That's
they had a lamb, and they have shakes. We also have Shake Shack down here.
Oh yeah, we got it over here too now. There was one in Hong Kong.
Really? Yeah. Hey, did they have the tiramisu shake?
I think so.
Okay, because that's like an Italian pastry.
I didn't know the one in Hong Kong, but the ones out here have it.
Oh, they do? Okay, cool. Yeah, because I saw an advertisement for it online, and last time I went, I didn't see it there. So I'm really, that's a big thing in our neighborhood, right? Right, Rob? Tiramisu?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always bust Laura's balls whenever I go out to a restaurant. I'm like, Grayson, Laura's favorite dessert is tiramisu. She's like, I like tiramisu. This shit ain't my favorite, but it just always comes.
So what I miss?
We're in the Tile. Let's do like a 30, not even a 30-second. Bring your eyes up to speed and continue.
So I went to Hong Kong and China, and some factories have fully automated stuff. A lot of them are still done by hand, which is crazy to think about how many action figures get pushed through all those factories. And a lot of most toy manufacturers, like, Hasbro, NECA, Mattel, all that stuff, wherever I work, sort of share the same factory spaces. So, your product could be delayed because, manufacturer X is having a delay with theirs.
Right, so it's like lanes on a highway, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
amazes me that it's still that some are still done by hand. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. So,
did you encounter any of that stuff that's going on with the politics there?
Yeah, we did, and I didn't mention it.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about it, right?
Yeah, and it's not a big deal. I forgot to mention it. I was telling Rob about this place called Inns Palace, which is a toy mall in downtown Hong Kong off of Nathan Road or whatever. And Nathan is this, like, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the photos and whatnot of what's kind of going on over there, but there's all these, million people protests and blah, 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 these huge, down these huge roads or whatever. Nathan is one of those roads. And so
it's like waiting through Mad Max to get to the toy mall. Like, I want to get my toy.
Yeah. No, actually, because we went sort of early, and we went in and we got our stuff. I got these I was telling Rob, I got these little guys in Hong Kong. These are actually from Hot Toys. But when we came out of In's Palace, we heard some sirens. We're like, oh, that's weird. And we looked to the left, and about 100 yards away was a line of riot police with shields and the nightsticks and like banging on them like Spartans, like the big like SWAT vans, and like marching towards us. We're like, oh, that's cool. And then we just kind of turned and went the other way and got a taxi and went right back to the hotel. So
wow,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Real quick in the chat, Uncle Pete, sorry for being off topic, but did I miss the announcement for the last giveaway? No, you did not. I was supposed to do the announcement last Sunday. I said it was going to be a week long. No one else has entered, so don't worry. The contest is practically closed anyway, and I'll be announcing it whenever I get a damn chance to. I'm on vacation this week, so probably tomorrow I'm not going to be able to do it. I got a family party to go to, so probably on Monday. But don't worry, just hit that bell and you'll be right on point with it. That's why I even tell. Oh, another thing, everybody, hit those bells because it looks like there's a good chance that YouTube is going to be shutting us down here. I haven't gotten a letter yet, but it looks like they might be shutting down any. It's a possibility they're going to be shutting down any video, not stopping the video from being made, but shutting down channels associated with kids' toys or even mentioning superheroes or things like Star Wars. And I don't even necessarily mean shutting down, more like you won't be able to comment. You won't be able to get notifications even if you hit the bell. They may shadow unsubscribe you from the channel. This is like affecting everybody from the Batman statue collector to collecting Cletus already jumped off and went to Twitch. The Paradox Nerd is leaving, and he's going to Twitch too by the end of the year, from what I hear. Darth Tackle's open mic. Everyone's jumping off and trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do. Me and Nick Knack, we're like Kyle right now in the streets of Hong Kong with the riot police encroaching, and we're just trying to go the other way. Right? So, yeah, it is adult collectibles, but the problem is that if I'm like, hey, check out this new Mezco Superman adult collectible, they're going to say, oh, you're talking about Superman, you're done.
As long as it's Superman, Superman will be classified as a kid's character or a kid's intellectual property, and that's it. You're logged in. You're categorized with them.
It's getting to the point where I even heard somebody in a video today. I'm going to try to share the video on the Facebook page. It's another YouTuber way bigger than this channel. Panicking about this, and he has this letter he drafted where you could submit it into group feedback for them. And if enough of the community complains about it, he's hoping that things can get changed. But he's saying that in the letter, and he received the letter because he's a big channel. He actually got an email from them already, and it said it could be something. It's very vague language they like to use in YouTube. And it got to the point where it was let's say me and Baz and Kyle here say we're not going to talk about action figures at all anymore on the Red Cup review, and all we're going to do is talk about Star Wars or the inner workings of movie making. And during the video, any one of us happens to mention any intellectual property character having to do with something a kid would be interested in, their algorithm could potentially pick up that word the way it would a curse word and flag that video.
Wow.
So, yeah. So this is what we're dealing with right now. But we're cool until the end of the year. So let's just keep it moving. Enough doom and gloom.
There has to be a preparation for an exodus from YouTube.
Yeah,
it's getting too restrictive, and there's an alternative called Minds.com that's similar to YouTube.
Right now, the Minds, there's Twitch, and there's another one, Vimeo.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's going towards Twitch because Twitch actually has the best payouts for channels. They kind of treat they don't treat us like whipping boys.
Money. Exactly. And we know when money talks.
That's right.
Rob walks.
No, we don't get paid on the channel. It's like an inside joke. And yes, it would also apply to comics, comic book characters, or anything like that. Okay, so getting back to your trip into China, if you have anything else to say, I got a couple of questions. You can continue.
Yeah, no. Why don't we just go with the questions? I mean, it was more or less the same process, like throughout the whole thing, and it was really, really cool just to kind of see how stuff works and just sort of the limitations. I have a cousin who designs for Reebok. He's a shoe designer, and he goes to.
I'm sorry because I'm trying to do the show and I gotta do this shit in here too.
He goes to Vietnam pretty regularly, about once every quarter, and he was telling me about it. He was like, it's gonna like go into the factories and where it's being made is gonna like change your perspective on how you design, because like he was saying the first time he went, like he was having this real problem with like, well, no, you need to do it this way, and you guys are being stupid and you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. And it went through like 4 or 5 like versions. And then he went to Vietnam, saw the factory, talked to the person he was emailing with, and he's like, oh, I'm a monster because what I'm asking you to do would make you like bend your arm backwards to like get it in this like one spot. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Things like that. So like for me specifically, like remember I was telling you about the hits, like the Tampo printer thing on the action figure. Baz, real quick, it's like these things are printed on basically like by an automated printer with like a big rubber stamp type thing. It's almost like screen printing. So we're working on this figure that's a robot figure, and of course it's a robot figure, so all the paint needs to be very, very clean, and like it's a robot, it has to be perfect. You can't have like sloppy deco or whatever, or guys like Rob are gonna tear us apart on YouTube. So and I was like, well, so you guys need to like do this better, and like this, all like it's like a thigh piece, and there's like a big circle around it with like it's kind of like a nut on top of it. And I was like, you need to paint the entire circle all the way to the edge of where like the thigh goes. And they're like, we would love to, but we can't. And they're like, why? It was like, well, we can do it with the rubber stamp, but the rubber stamp doesn't envelop the whole thing. And if we did that, it would go to the sides, and then you'd say that was sloppy. Or we could do it with a spray mask, which is basically like this copper piece of metal that like gets put into a clamp, and they like put it on top of, they like put the figure in the thing, and like this metal copper clamp like holds onto it, and it like lines it up perfectly. So like that's a lot how you get like Spider-Man's webbing on his face is probably a clamp that just has all those spots, and then they just spray it black, and then they unclamp it, and like the webbing's done. If that makes any sense. Like, so we can't do that because the clamp has the mask clamp has like a certain thickness that it's impossible for us to do that. We can't. So, you need to maybe next time try and design it like this way so that we can get the whole piece and everyone's happy. I was like, oh, okay, that helps. So little insider pieces like that. And there's, 5 to 10 to 20 more examples of that, of me learning stuff like that as I'm going. That's just like one specific.
And you're in design too, right? So that's kind of like you're always learning, like kind of you're still taking to school and then having to go and revamp your style and bring it back, so on and so forth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very cool. All right, so I want to ask a question about how close are the factories located to one another?
Closer than you think. I live in the Bay, in San Francisco Bay Area, and the distance I covered from like Hong Kong to I think Longang is the farthest away that I got, was like basically the distance from like Berkeley to San Jose, which is like 35 miles or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not that far away.
Right, but how close is each factory to the next factory, in other words? Is it like in an industrial area? Is it in its own city?
Most of the city, yeah. I went to like 4 different cities, but all the cities touch each other.
Right.
And I didn't drive myself, so I kind of don't have the gauge.
Right.
For that. But, probably...
Or do you have to drive from one factory to the other, or is it like, I'm going to walk across the street to the other factory?
No, you got to drive.
Okay.
For sure. Probably, minimum 9 to 10 miles or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how that, like, all that zoning stuff works.
Right.
But they're far enough that you need to drive. That's for sure.
So As per part of our agreement with Sideshow, we aren't going to focus too much on knockoffs and stuff on the channel. However, I do have a question is concerning a lot of it was presented to me because of like OSHA regulations, and certain factories have to meet certain regulations, pay a living wage to their workers, make sure everything's on the level. Because some of these other factories have like kids working 16 hours a day, and it's like Disney or DC or Marvel or whatever can't be associated obviously with that, or they shouldn't be, obviously. I mean, you know, is that like all legit? Did you experience any of that on your trip? Did you get
yeah, so I haven't. I mean, if you're asking if I've seen child workers, no is the answer to that. But the main thing is that like all the factories that we work with go through these auditing processes. So like I know that Disney has a very specific audit that like they'll send somebody to the factory, check it all out. Look, it's almost like a health code inspection.
Right.
Thing, but like Disney does it, and you get Disney certified, and that's a big deal for a factory to be Disney certified, because then they can make Disney stuff, and that's that's money to them.
Right.
And I know Walmart also has the same thing, and like there's a Walmart and Disney certification that factories can get that will enable them to make product for those guys.
Right.
So and no, every place that I've seen is like pretty nice as far as factories go, from what I'm told. Remember, this was my first time out of the country, the first time in China, seeing all that stuff. So,
right. And you would say that overall the trip was a positive experience?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been told I will be going back, and I look forward to it. The only thing that sucked is the time difference, because they're 15 hours ahead of us. So it is 7 a.m. there right now on Sunday, and when I got back, Hong Kong airport is a nightmare. It's like LAX times 5, and or JFK times 10 for you. That makes it any sense. And my flight got canceled on the way back, and then I got put on another airline with smaller seats, and that's an 11-hour flight. So I just kind of walked the whole way, which sucked, but I'm good now.
Awesome.
So, yeah, kind of a sloppy signature at the end of an awesome agreement. That makes sense.
Did you? Well, obviously you weren't working the entire time. So when you had a little bit of R&R, was there any like nightlife involved? Did you just go back to the hotel?
Yeah, we went and we ate and had a lot of good food, lots of dim sum, and the factories will always take you out because you're the customer, so they need to show you a good time, and that was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Sunday was that free day, and we walked into the protest, so that was fun.
Right.
But when you're there, you're working most of the time.
Right. Okay, that's cool.
Because like when you're at the factory, you're given notes or whatever, which is cool. Because like typically like you get an email from the factory, and it's like, oh, here is this round of paint. Let us know what you think. You're like, okay, cool, and you write up your notes and you send it off to them. But because of the time difference, you basically like lost a day. And then they're like, okay, thank you for this. And then you lose another day. And then like there's another day that goes by where they have to make the change, and then they email it to you again. And so now you're 3 days in trying to make notes on the paint. Whereas when you're at the factory, you're in the conference room, you're going through all these samples or whatever, and you're basically telling them in person, like, here's this, and this, fix these parts. And they're like, okay, thanks. And then they go in, and then half an hour later, here's a new round. Tell us what you think. So it saves you an immense amount of time and resources. It's just, it's expensive to go there and whatever. Otherwise, we would do it all the time.
Right. I understand. So the biggest takeaway from this, from an outside, I'm trying to pull myself out of this conversation from and think to myself, as a consumer that likes to whine and bitch a lot, take into consideration the fact that if your hot toy has been delayed, it might not necessarily be Hot Toys that's delaying the process or Sideshow. It could be, X amount of any other companies with their bullshit. They're just stuck in the lane in front of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. All right.
Just like the freeways that we all go on every day,
Yeah, no, it's weird how something so simple and obvious kind of gets lost on people when we're just banging our fists. I want my fucking Superman. It's like
it's something people don't think about because they don't have any experience.
My Little Pony is in front of you, and it's like the shit ain't happening, guy. Relax.
Yeah, I know I like to act like I know everything about the toy industry, but I learn something new about it every day.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Cool. All right. Baz?
Yeah.
We'll get into pickups of the week. Do you have any pickups this week?
None.
Good.
Nada. Oh, Kyle, by the way, I wanted to show you this.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Did I show you this?
I think you did, but it still makes me happy that you held on to your flipper already.
There we go. That's how you know you're getting old, when you tell friends the same story or show them the same fucking toy.
Well, you got to get the one with the cape, man.
Which one?
You got to get the one with the cape on her. There's an exclusive.
There's an exclusive. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'll send you.
Unfortunately, I've sold out to the Sideshow, and I can't get any capes from the secondary market anymore because I'm such a Sideshow shill. So
that's right.
Yeah. I'm screwed.
I'll send you a link, and you can always look at it longingly, like that Wolverine meme when he's on bed.
Yo, I can't believe they drew Rogue with such a friggin' ass, man. Jesus. Just like this.
Oh, my God. Yeah, if we don't get shut down, no, I ain't going to shut us down.
Yeah. So pickups of the week, no pickups this week.
Did you open your Commissioner Gordon yet?
No, still.
Awesome.
What are you doing, man?
I'm never going to open it.
Yeah.
I should.
I got the Gordon, and I don't know if it does any. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I made a full revelation that like the signal doesn't actually work.
Really?
It's like lights. Yeah. Do you have yours, Rob?
Yeah.
Somewhere you can grab real quick.
Oh Christ! I have it buried. Why?
All right, hold on. Let me grab mine real quick because I have a theory.
This is what we're going to bash Mezco now for an hour. Oh my God. So everybody, once again, I'm going to take a quick look into the chat room. Obviously, Kev's Matrix is lighting it on fire. Rob's going on. Trev, everybody else. Julio, you're a funny guy if you're still watching the beard shit, calling us the Amish people. It's working. It's reflecting right off your face. What are you talking?
Yeah. So I mean, it works, right?
Right.
It's great. What I realized though, as I was looking at it, just this is a design thing, and it's no problem. It totally makes sense why they did it. I think it's a very smart move. It's gonna seem weird, but you see right there that little dot above the ears on the back.
Yes.
That's a light that shines down.
All right.
To illuminate these discs, and then the actual bat signal comes out of this.
Okay, so that's another light that brings the bat signal out.
So it's only two lights.
Right.
See, when you go, you can see there's one up here, there's one down there.
Right.
I thought the whole thing lit up. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like so. Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's just those two lights.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I can't. How
I think it's genius. Yeah, it looks great.
I'll tell you what would be cool though, like be able to find a way to wire it where like you can. I'm sure that there's like electricians out there and customizers that could do this. Again, we can't talk about customs, but you want to know what this isn't a custom piece. Being able to get a remote and being able to maybe like hit a button on a remote that maybe lights up your whole collection and the bat signal goes off.
Oh, there's definitely a way to do it because like I've seen them online where there's like a little battery kit that you can then like put on like an infrared controller or something.
Right. Yeah. That would be really cool. This way it's like, because otherwise I don't ever use these light up features, and it would be cool to just turn my collection lights on and have everything light up. Darth Vader's lightsaber, everybody wired in all together, wired up, and so everything kind of lights up at once.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate the batteries. Forget it. They either deteriorate over time.
Yeah.
And melt and destroy your collectible, or they last for like 10 minutes and then it's over and you gotta go through that whole
get a new one. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So Kyle, you said you had a bunch of pickups, so let's get to you.
I do. So I mean, I said like the Hong Kong stuff. Like I showed these Cos Baby guys, which I actually really like. This is their This is their box, a little 2-pack with some nice like foil printing on the window, which is cool.
What was the MSRP on that?
60 or 458 Hong Kong dollars.
Nice. Okay.
There. Then for Force Friday, I picked up the Galaxy of Adventures Darth Vader.
Nice. Very cool.
It's kind of like the stylized look to it. It's a simple figure. It's only $10. It's pretty good for that price. So I really like this thing. I have a Darth Vader collection, so just add stuff to it. And let's see what else. Oh, I got some figures that I designed back finally. This might be a little revealing or whatever, but got the glow in the dark Bride of Frankenstein, New York Comic Con.
I love the packaging, man.
That's the art director who I work with who worked on that. He and I worked very closely together to make these figures. You can see on the back they all glow different colors.
Right. Nice.
So she glows orange. Frankie glows blue.
Very cool.
And Creature glows green.
Nice.
And then also for stuff that I designed, I got to
Are those off the lights? Like they glow like when it absorbs like ambient light for the glow in the dark effect?
Yeah. Just
you
like
could basically you can keep it in the package, nail it to your wall, and then like when you turn the lights out, it'll glow. So you don't have to necessarily open it up. That's cool.
No. And then same thing. I got to do the glow RoboCops.
Nice.
So I just do the figures, and then the packaging team does the awesome, Kenner style packaging. So
right.
Globocop and Battle Damage Globocop. Best part about this is that there's real holes punched in the card.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
So to see me. Yeah. And then the glow in the dark Toxic Waste guy.
Oh shit! Look at that. Very cool.
And
he got what he deserved.
That's right. Hold on. There's one last piece I picked up. I want you guys to see.
His toaster. Have I seen the Mondo Masters of the Universe stuff? Not just the pictures, Julio. Skeletor looks mad cool. Faker. The Hot Topic has an exclusive glow in the dark Skeletor from Mondo. I did not know that.
I just saw a picture of the Mondo Merman. He looks pretty sick. His armor looks really good.
All right. So I got two more things. A friend of mine gave me this Cosmic Ghost Rider pop, which is
nice.
Kind of cool. I don't buy pop, but I will take them for free.
That's Frank Castle, by the way.
Oh, I know. I've read the thing up tell me. And the last piece is one that I know that you are pretty excited about, Rob. The boom.
Oh man, adjust the camera or bring it up. Yeah, man.
There we go.
The lights in your place are really beaming.
I know, they're really bright. But yeah, so this is the Wonder Woman Princess of Themyscira statue that I designed. And she's got her little shields as well. You can see.
Nice.
Build a Athena with the owl on there. And then it just kind of plugs in like that.
It's a plug. Yeah.
And then the spear is removable as well.
Now, is that all? What is the casting on that? Is that resin or what?
Yeah, it's polyresin right now.
Is it heavy? Is it hollow? Is it?
Oh, it's heavy. If I hold it longer, I will start shaking.
What about
That's what she said.
James
Belk says carded RoboCops. I'd buy that for $1.
See, that makes me so sad because just licensing nonsense. We had planned on making that guy.
Oh God! What happened?
The I'd buy it for $1 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So you can make RoboCop, but you can't make that. Unfriggin' believable.
You can't see RoboCop's face.
Right.
See that guy's face.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, if you have the licensing to a movie to make figures of a movie or a cartoon or whatever, you should be able to just use the shit. You know.
And it just depends on the thing. You know.
Yeah.
So.
The Wonder Woman, her weapons, are they casted in
It's
metal?
no, it's also a resin,
Okay,
so you can use it at the back.
very cool.
And then this is like a slightly bendier resin,
Okay,
so but still nice, and it's very long. It's like 14 inches long.
wow, very cool. It seems like it slips in there fairly easily and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
And at the cost of like her having like really big handholds or whatever, which is not great in my opinion. You can sort of see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it works just fine.
You don't really like see. I noticed that's like something that you don't really see. Like you'll see it when you're holding it and looking at it, but if it's on your shelf, you're not looking in the handholds. You know, so
yeah, and I'm the hardest on it because it's it's my baby. This thing's been in my brain for 3.5 years, and now it's finally here. So I'm very scrutinizing.
very cool, man. That's pretty awesome. Nice, man. It's good shit too. The I know that you had I believe I heard somewhere. I might have heard this from Amanda that originally the design was very Venus de Milo, where the arms were even missing from it.
The arms were originally missing, and then DC said, "No, you can't have Wonder Woman without the bracelets. What are you doing? Figure it out." And I was like, "Okay, great." So I have. I'll post it on my website because I think it's okay now that this has come out. I have all the concept art. I did like 4 or 5 versions of it with her arms in different positions, but I wanted it to still be Venus de Milo. So like the arms, like if you look at the original Venus de Milo, like one is sort of up, or this one's down, this one's sort of up. So I had to figure out how to make that work, and so the spear was the best looking one.
Right.
I did one where it was like a sword. I did one where she was like doing this. I did a couple of different ones, and this one definitely looked the best. So
nice. That's freaking awesome. I can't wait. I'm still waiting. Like, let's go. This company's got to get to shipping this shit, man.
December, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Right in time for Christmas. Let's just download everything. Let's have every hot toy in Mezco and this shit drop all right in my lap. You know.
That's right. Well, you know how factories go.
Here's a question for you: is that like a growing trend, or it seems to be pretty consistent that me and Baz talk about this? How come everything drops in like November and December all of a sudden? Like, is it because they're trying to rush everything out before the Chinese New Year?
There's that, and then also Christmas season.
Right.
But you rush it out. You get the pre-orders to those people, but you also make it available for people to buy it who didn't buy it initially.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Let's see. I'm going to put this up on the thing real quick. Here's a question for the channel. So what will these toy companies do now if they can't have free advertising on YouTube whenever this hit for toy reviewers come down, if it happens the way people think it will happen? That's a good question. Nobody knows. What are the toy companies going to do? Probably not be able to get over on us the way they have. Baz, we were talking about this earlier in the week, or last week, something like that, about knowing your worth. And, don't do something if you do it for good. If you don't do something for free if you do it good and stuff like that when it comes to these toy companies. I feel like, and Kyle, you work for a toy company. I don't know if this is part of your expertise here. However, it seems like a long time ago, toy companies had to pay big time money to have their stuff advertised. Hey, this is what's coming out in the back of a comic book. We're going to take an ad out in the back of, whatever. We're going to take an ad out or a commercial or something. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like they have free advertising for YouTube reviewers to just review their stuff all the time. Now, me and you don't have this problem because you took a liking to me right off the bat and kind of hooked me up pretty awesomely. So, present company excluded. It seems like a lot of companies are they don't necessarily value, or it doesn't seem like they value the YouTube reviewers, at least the professional ones. Or do they just think everybody's full of shit when it comes to like either sending them product? We don't expect to get paid off of this stuff, but in my personal experience, and maybe it's because I'm a smaller channel, it seems like hey, I can review your product. Send it to me. Look, I'm legit. I've been doing this for a few years, and it's like, yeah, that's nice. You could buy it in the store and review it for us. That would be great.
Yeah.
Or if you want to talk to the company, will periodically, like DC Collectibles is notorious for this shit. They send me like press releases and pictures, and they're like, "Oh, advertise this on your page, and here's the MSRP." And I'm like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm not advertising your shit. If you like, I wrote them like, "Yo, send me something, and I'll review it, and then I'll put all this stuff up." And they're like, "Yeah, no, if you could just share the pictures, that's fine, and where to buy it." And it's like, yeah, I'm not promoting you if I don't get my back scratched at this point. Now I know I'm like nothing compared to DC Collectibles, but at the same time, like I have to go where like Sideshow was gracious enough to send me some stuff. You guys through your influence through Cryptozoic, I was able to develop a relationship over there, which was great. So, what's going on here? What's the what's going on with companies where like they're not obviously paying for advertising anymore because print media is kind of dead?
Yeah.
High-end collectible companies don't take out commercials anymore. So it's almost like free advertising for them. Can you speak to any of this?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. And, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. A big thing that at least that I've noticed is like just a lack of understanding. The people who control the samples or the money or whatever just don't get YouTube or don't think it's worth the time. They'd rather spend that money on, a web advertisement or, a real commercial that'll wind up on Nickelodeon or whatever. It just depends. And a lot of the stuff, like specifically with like collector, like action figures, that type of stuff, like my guess is that they at least think, or they think they know that people are going to flock to it anyways, advertising or not.
Right. Okay. Yeah. True.
Makes sense.
I mean, it definitely does make sense. And the only way I can speak back to a comment like that is to say something along the lines of, it sounds like media, like news organizations, right? Look down on guys like let's say take CNN or Fox News, for instance. Oh, look down on a guy like Joe Rogan. Meanwhile, he has like 10 times more viewership than both of them combined. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're going to thumb your nose at like either the YouTuber or the like this type of advertising or exposure when everybody's flocking to this. This is this isn't new media now. If YouTube's old now, but this is like kind of where people. I've had mad people tell me, and I know for a big company like let's say Hasbro, 150 buys is a drop in the bucket, and they can give a shit less about that. But when a company's only making let's say 500 to 1,500 of a specific item, it seems like 200 to 300 sales based off of a good review on YouTube would probably help sell that item out a lot faster. I've had people tell me like I wasn't buying this, but now after I seen your video, and I'm a small nothing channel, say like, I'm definitely getting this now. Like because of this review, I'm going out and buying this tomorrow or pre-order. And I know that like take Mezco for instance, they only make like at the high end they have like 6,000 made. Most of them coming at like 3,500. Yeah. So if a channel like me gets them like between 50 to 100 sales, and then like a dude like D Nice is getting them like 1,000 sales, that's kind of like their sweet spot right there, man. So it would always be like.
You mean D Amazing?
D Amazing, that was it.
Yeah.
So it seems like the D Amazing is like really like above and beyond. He's like climbed himself to like the top of the food chain in the Mezco world.
I will freely admit that I watch every single one of his videos. I really like the way he does his stuff.
Right. So it seems like if you're gonna pay for like web advertising or something like that, it almost seems like I don't know how many samples of a specific thing might come in.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy I was working with today owns a liquor shop, and he's like, "Yo, I open bottles all the time when dudes walk in my store, and they're like, what do you mean you don't sell Patron?" And he's like, "Yo, Patron's whack because I'm only gonna make $4 on a $50 bottle, so I ain't selling that shit in my store. However, I have these 3 or 4 other tequilas," and they're like, "Yeah, but it's not Patron." Hot shit. And he's like, no, I'm going to open the bottles right now, and all day long I'm just going to pour people shots as they walk in my store, because it's like it's just a bottle. It's the bottle costing me like, $25, $30 or whatever it is, and I'm going to get people to buy that over going like, oh wait, this shit might necessarily taste better than that. So
I always take those shots too, man. Who's going to – I mean, if you go into a liquor store and there's like a hot chick going, hey, you want a shot of this kind of, liquor or whatever? Like, you're going to say no?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Well, if a company like this company's not paying me, but they're like, "Hey, we're going to send you this, and can you do a video on it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, great." So I'm gonna obviously flock towards that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is too? It's like word of mouth too. Like, you know, like we're kind of like, you know, the network on the street. Like, because I remember like when I started collecting Masters of the Universe when I was a kid. This was before the cartoon. The reason I started collecting it was because like some other kid told me about it. It was like, oh, this is cool. Check this out. You know what I mean? There was no actual formal marketing on TV. There was no commercial that like, you know, showed me Masters of the Universe. It was some other kid, and you know, it was like all the other kids were into it. You know, and they just informed each other through word of mouth. So like we're kind of like the network of word of mouth here, like on the street. You know, like oh check out like this Cryptozoic Wonder Woman, whatever. You know what I mean? And then like, oh, it's cool, man. Look at the design, blah, blah. And then somebody watches that and goes, oh, yeah, you know, that's kind of cool. I'll check it out, you know. So, you know, it is, you know, still that's always still going to be valuable when it comes to marketing. So even though we're a small channel, there are some people that watch us, and they're, you know, you may influence them to buy something, and then so on and so forth,
or may even influence another reviewer that's bigger. Like I've done reviews on things where other guys like take PJ Paradox Nerd, right? I did a few mezcos, and I don't think he's ever reviewed a mezco on his channel, so it never really came to fruition. But he was like, "Yo, man," he's like, "Those things are nice. I'm watching your videos. Maybe I'll check them out and maybe review one or two of them." And his has like double the amount of views subscribers that I have. So it's like from one collector to another, because we are a community. It's almost like if the guy with 1,300 subscribers talks to the guy with like 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers. And that guy's like, "Oh shit, you put me onto this. Now I'm going to promote it."
Yeah.
Now your advertising just quadrupled out of nowhere, like spam, you know. So
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, I ended up with this thing in my house somehow. You know, well, you know, so,
you should
you know
garbage away. Yes.
No, but also, Rob, look, you have statues now. You were never into statues. You were you became friends with Thor, and you started watching his show, and you started dabbling into statues. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are actual sales. You know.
It's funny how that worked out, because that went from I always loved that Wonder Woman premium format. I just loved it, but I was like, I'm not buying a 2-foot statue for my house. Like, fuck that. I collect toys. I want to be able to move these things. You know, screw statues. And then he was like, yeah, whatever. And then like 6 months later, he's like, some guy's just unloading all of his statues, and that shit is $200. And I was like, what? So I was like, yeah, like that's even less than a hot toy. So I drove to the guy's house in Jersey, bought it, and then he was like, oh, and I got the Superman companion piece. Another dude selling it for $200. Another guy unloading his whole collection in Queens. Drove and met him. Bam, now I got the 2 statues, and now I'm like, shit, I got Superman and Wonder Woman. I got to eventually get myself a Batman, and I wanted the classic Batman, and it just so happened that the synchronicity of the universe brought that other Batman from Sideshow to me. And all over superpowers, I started getting into the Tweeterhead superpower statues, because those were more in scale with like the Hot Toys and stuff. And that I'm all over that shit, because no one's making superpower stuff, and these things look hot, and they're 12 inches, and they fit in with all my other shit. So
yeah.
That's what your wife said.
Stuff again. That's what I would totally buy off on one of those things if it was, you know, $200 or whatever.
Yeah, hell yeah, exactly.
The price was
like a rare occurrence though too at the same time.
Everyone's got a price. That's right. And like,
everyone's got a price, Rob.
Got a price.
Yours was $200.
That's right. And I think the other thing is like it's got to be the right character for me too. Like Batman, Darth Vader, something like that. I really enjoy the premium format stuff, but I'm trying to think of like the logic of some people who collect the premium format stuff, like to be specific, the Sideshow premium format Zatanna, amazing piece, looks incredible. What an awesome statue. But how do you justify having that in your house and then your friends come over? Can you assume all of your friends are comic book nerds, or do you have to explain to your mother-in-law like why you have a statue of a magical hooker in your house?
Fishnet stockings, bro. You picked the wrong character, man.
Speaking of Zatanna,
perfect character, because I know that's the point I'm trying to illustrate here. Is you got to choose. I feel like you got to be very careful which one to pick, Because like I love Black Canary more than anything, but that's a hard thing to explain to my mom.
Hell no. Please, if you have a Black Canary Sideshow, I'll buy it off you for $200.
Yes. Speaking of, oh my God, guess what Zoe's going as for Halloween?
Oh God. Cool. I'm gonna sign off real quick.
He's going as Santana. Yeah, we were trying to figure out how to get just on a side note, we were trying to figure out how to get, like, Laura was like, yeah, she's a magical hooker outfit. So how do we make it work on a 5-year-old girl?
Yeah.
So what we did was, I was like, yo, she goes to dance class, right? She does ballet. They wear leggings. You wear flesh-colored leggings, and you put, like, because it's cold up in the Northeast now, right? You put, like, the insulated pants on underneath, like long johns. You put the flesh-colored leggings on, and then put the fishnets over that with the bathing suit with the coat, and you have, like, basically dance outfit that she would wear in dance class.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much.
Are you going to teach her how to speak backwards?
I have been. I've been showing her that Potts
is good.
Backwards. Potts Nantab.
All
That's
right.
not Batman.
All right, good. Because I was going to call her poser. If she didn't learn.
So, anyway, so speaking of, you said the character has to be right too. So for me, it would be, not necessarily the look of the character. It would more be like I have this problem with Hot Toys too. Every Hot Toy that comes out looks great, but can I justify spending do I want to spend $250 on another Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
Or Nebula
guy? Like, I don't no, unless I'm getting a deal on that. Like, I don't need to have a $300 Jeremy Renner in my house because I'm not the
or X23
man. X23 exactly, or something like that. Like unless you're the world's biggest X23 fan, then by all means get every.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to mean something to you.
Yeah. Dude, you guys are talking to the wrong one. I would trade my entire collection for an Andrew Dice Clay 6 scale. So whatever. You know,
that entire basement completely empty. It's just him on a pedestal.
That's it. It would be like when Mr. Freeze carries around the Nora in the rotating base from the.
I was gonna say, fuck, was it Indiana Jones? Like the thing, like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's like my bottled city of candy, like resting in the middle of my room. Just all the spotlights pointed at it and shit.
Or Beauty and the Beast, your single rose.
Yeah, there you go. The rose. Yep.
Dang, I didn't realize how many like single idols are in movies forever.
Yeah, crazy. Right? Well, now you start thinking about it, forget it. You'll start pulling all kinds of shit out of the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Going back a little bit in the chat, Julio Gomez. Speaking of licensing BS, is that the demise of Cyborg JL?
Of course.
Yeah, probably. I had to guess so. Well, you're not getting that figure, so there's another way to get a figure like that, but we can't talk about that on this channel.
Yeah.
What is he? He's called like the robot, right, or something like that.
Yeah, please, before this whole thing gets shut down. Anyways, let's move on, if you guys are cool with that, to I don't know, what's the big thing going on this week? Spooktacular. Should we talk about that? Did anybody get any codes? Did anybody order anybody in the chat order anything from
this came in the mail. $20 off right off the bat. Bang.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah. And I got a $40 gift card for my birthday, so I got $60 to spend on Sideshow.
I want to be like, you son of a bitch, you got that. I didn't get anything in the mail. And then I'm like staring at the Batman statue.
Yeah, right. You just get statues in the mail every 2 weeks.
Yeah, whatever. I got
money.
My girl's birthday is coming up, and so I used all of the Sideshow points that I had left to get her like a Harry Potter purse for her birthday.
Nice.
So she watches and she's gonna get spoiled, or whatever. But that was like a cool use of it. It was like totally free. It's like a nice bag. She's gonna be super stoked on it. So. And I've actually been part of the Batman Statue Collector has like a group chat of all the people who just like will post the codes as they come up. So I just been pulling those.
Nice.
I mean, as I get them. So I'm not one of those dudes who like stays up the whole time. Like I will sleep through a couple codes. That's fine.
That's
I
right.
don't even want to tell you. I don't even want to tell you what I've done in the last few days for these stupid ass codes. I've missed like 2 or 3 of them so far. But like I'm on the highway driving here to get to the show, and the phone dings, so I pull over on the side of the highway,
Code.
on, and then right back up.
At least you pulled over.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But I do have like the Spooktacular page up on my phone, and whenever it bings, I copy it, paste it, sign in, then like as fast as I can, or whatever. I missed the $5 one that happened today. I was bummed about that.
Yeah.
By like a minute.
Like, oh god.
You've been trying to post that on the
It expired at like 3:10. I signed on at like 3:11.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst, man. That is the
Rob, I
worst.
see them when you post them, and it's always like 3 hours ago, 5 hours ago.
I told you to have the things go off on your phone. Bing, the notification.
Yeah.
But anyways, the only reason why I'm even big on these codes is because I've been collecting these codes for like the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, and I just let them sit and just count. Eventually, I'm going to wind up getting myself something really crazy, you know. So,
yeah, that's how I'm gonna get my Darth Vader premium format.
There you go. This is a marathon. The shit ain't a race. You know, that's how I look at it. You know.
Yeah. Though I do feel, and I don't know. Something about Spectacular and just the videos and all that stuff. Something feels different this year. I don't know.
Oh yes, it most certainly does. And I don't
want to talk about that too long.
I'm taking this shit off. I'm taking off the damn tie because I can't be a total complete sellout. Yeah, I'll tell you that it's amazing how someone. I'm not going to speak bad about what they do have going on.
Yeah, no, it's still fine, but it's just different.
It is. It does feel a little. It's amazing how one person could bring such a. I don't. You don't know what you got till it's gone, kind of.
Yeah.
You know,
It feels kind of dead. It's dead, right?
It's kind of like it's
there's no personality to it.
There's definitely some personality missing. It's a matter of like they're doing like their live shows with like just a plain brick wall behind them, and it's not like they're in the room. Where like they used to have the big coffee table with the stuff sitting on the coffee table when they're talking, and they have like the sleeping bags, and they got the whole hot cocoa, and you feel like you're in the room with them.
Yeah,
that's kind of that's missing.
By the way, I've been in that room and taken pictures of myself on that set. I will post them in the group.
How the hell did you live out there practically? Right?
I did live out there, and I know a friend at Sideshow, and I got to go on a tour of the whole studio.
Nice.
And see that place, which was incredible.
That's awesome.
That's a story for a different day, though.
Awesome. Yeah. Now you could take us through like maybe we'll do like an episode where you take us through like your walkthrough and shit.
I mean, it was almost a year ago that I went, so my memory's a little fuzzy. If only I could get something to grease it, but you know.
Oh boy. Someone's in the chat room. Everybody, I'm gonna bring this up on the.
Nice.
Son of Red Cup.
Son of Red Cup is watching. You probably had Laura type in, hey, how do you still hide there, Dad? What's up, little buddy? How's it going? You're probably on the ride home, if I had to guess. And if you're not, you're probably still at Uncle Kenny's. And if not, you're probably upstairs. And I just didn't hear you. Awesome. So he's just going to keep posting it now. Or maybe it's Zoe just going click, click, click.
Zoe, if you're posting, you have to write it backwards.
That's right.
You're Zatanna now.
Yeah, that's right. Just type everything in reverse. Okay, so speaking of Spooktacular, I did not order anything from Spooktacular, but I'm going to do a quick little screen share.
Yeah.
We are actually going really late tonight, a lot later than I thought we would. A lot longer, rather. Spooktacular.
Shit. What are you, 26?
Yeah, man, it's freaking late. All right, here we go. Now we're turning into the Brady Bunch with the faces on the side, right? So here's Spooktacular, right? They have their second. This is the coolest thing. I'll start off what I think was the coolest thing so far this year. This chance stuff. Apparently, they went like combing through like their archives or their warehouse, and they have like this whole back from the dead. Second chance thing where you can go back and there are certain figures that they only find like maybe like 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 of.
Oh, great.
And you can like go back and they actually have them up for MSRP, which is awesome.
Nice.
So like you can like these are all like long sold out stuff. They had like the Joker hot toy from the Suicide Squad movie. They found like 5 of those. Those sold out like 10 minutes.
They sold out, really?
I can't believe anyone even bought that, but whatever. That's cool.
After all the negative press that Jared Leto's been getting the past 2 weeks.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't even whatever. That's another conversation for another time. But they have these
walkers are cool with the chain.
The walkers with the chain is pretty cool. Those are 6 scales.
Nice.
Like actually toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they're going to be dropping. They dropped another one that they had that sold out that I came really close to pulling the trigger on, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't actually, because it would have been like a total impulse buy. Was the Spider-Man premium format where he's kind of like one arm in it over the Brooklyn Bridge and throwing the web.
Oh, nice, with the Doc Ock tentacles in it.
No, that's the newest one. The older one is he's like there's like an explosion or something going off behind him, and he's like one arming it over like
I know which one.
Bridge,
okay.
And he's got his legs kicked out, and he's kind of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I was like, you know what? I don't need a giant Spider-Man in my collection. I'm a DC guy. I got to stick.
We're DC people here. What are you talking about?
But what happened?
We're DC people.
Exactly, we're DC people, so you beat. So Spider-Man, you kind of got the shaft. But whatever, it was cool. They kind of had that come out, so that was like probably my favorite reveal out of the second chance things. I just think that's pretty cool that they're doing that. And here are your spooky specials.
Nice.
Let's see. What do they have for special? What's special?
I haven't looked at this, so let's see.
Okay, so now everything here is at MSRP, but these are all the things that are on sale. And when you click on them is when you get the sale. And I could already pretty much tell you that all the 6 scale figures are anywhere between 10% off to $20 to $25 off. Like I know the Deadpool is I think $25 off or something, and Batman is $20 off. So it's pretty and free shipping. So it's not even like it's saving you shipping. It's just like it's $20 off, and then you're saving on the shipping. I think the Han Solo Carbonite is $40 off.
That Obi-Wan Kenobi has always been on, like the statue version was always on my list, and then now they're doing the figure version, which is like the closest I'll ever get to getting it, because the original one is like $3,000 now.
That's crazy.
I know. It's such a cool concept, though. I wish it
totally
both heads, though.
Hold on. Let me just get this out now. Kenobi, that the series on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So I just read an article that he had a lie for 4 years now about playing Obi-Wan again. That this has been going on for 4 years in production, and that it's going to be 6 1-hour shows, and it takes place directly after Order 66 and all the fallout from that, and it starts shooting next year.
Nice.
All about it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I sort of based my look off of Episode 3 Obi-Wan. It's a big deal for me.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
The one I came closest to in the discount section here of pulling the trigger on was this C-3PO 6 scale, and the only thing that's stopping me again is holding off, because I don't have a C-3PO, is I'm waiting for Hot Toys, but I might as well. My whole beard will be gray by the time that shit comes out.
Archie, what's up, Archie?
Oh, Art's with us? Awesome.
Art's in the house.
What's up, Rob? What's up? How are you? Archie has been trying as hard as he can to get the codes when they release, but he's just missing them this time around. The Wonder Woman is 50 off, I think. Shipping. This is like still my favorite Sideshow premium format. It's just like, and I think that I got to be honest, subconsciously, I think that kind of made me in the back of my mind like love, I guess, what you did, Kyle. Because I was like, oh, she's like up on the stone. She's looking all heroic and shit. Like, it's just something about like when Wonder Woman looks totally regal that just tickles my fancy. So I was.
I mean, she's a princess and oftentimes a queen. You got to treat her like it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's great. I have this here. Otherwise, I'd probably be hard pressed not this year to pick that up. $400 and free shipping. That's really not bad.
What's up with the Bane?
Oh, the Bane, the most expensive thing ever. Let's take a look at that. I think this is just free shipping because it's relatively new. I'm clicking. It's not going. Yeah, no, this is just free shipping. And even though it's $700, this is going to make you laugh. When you say something like this is just free shipping, like, give me a break, really?
No, that's like $150 to ship that.
Yeah, this thing is like the The Batman is 18 pounds, and this is almost not twice the size, but it's definitely thicker and taller. So this is like a 25, 30-pound piece.
That was one of the pieces that I saw at the factory.
It's massive, right?
It was nuts. It like the way I described it to my coworkers, like after seeing it, I was like, I saw it and I was like, this is irresponsibly large.
I got to tell you what, though, from the actual sculpted side, I love the mask. I don't like this ridiculous, incredible Hulk-looking Bane style. Like, I like Bane being a little bit more trim and still super jacked and diesel, just not like Baz. Who was the guy that originally drew him when he first came out? Before they started turning him into like Colossus Bane.
I don't remember the artist. But,
the guy who drew like the original Nightfall. It was like that first Nightfall series.
Oh, Jim Aparo?
That was Jim Aparo, right? It's just always back to Jim Aparo.
Yeah.
So everything he does is just forget it. We're like big Jim Aparo fans on here.
I think Chuck Dixon was a co-creator of the original Bane, and he didn't create him to be this super steroid type, almost Hulk-like character. He was just like 6'3", maybe 6'4", and just a big dude.
This figure here, the Captain America concept art, from what I hear, I don't have it. This isn't something I would ever buy because to me that's not Captain America. It's just like I don't see the Kyle. We've discussed this 100 times. We know why they do shit like this. However, what I do hear is that this is the best actual Captain America figure, like pound for pound wise, as far as like body shape.
That is what I've also heard.
And like the way you can pose it, it's like the best, which is hilarious to me. It's like the most inaccurate Captain America, yet still the best Captain America.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of Star Wars shit that I love that Badger hates. And let's see, Emperor Palpatine. I think he's just free shipping. And they've been giving away shit left and right. Yeah, he's just free shipping too.
He looks so happy there.
He's pretty big with that.
Oh, he's so cute. How can you not love little MP?
Buy this. It's good. Come to buy this shit. Spend your money.
That T'Chaka figure I have it's great. It's very
T'Chaka?
Yeah.
Clicking on him. He's 20 off and free shipping. So there you go, 200 flat. That's pretty awesome for a hot toy, guys.
Yeah, he's pretty great actually, and his body is just a reissue of the first Civil War Black Panther. Mm-hmm. But like they added like the cloth wrap and stuff. He's got the different head, and he comes with the beads and stuff, and he's really really rad. I have him sitting on the throne that I bought from Hot Toys as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, you always got to have a throne with certain characters, and he's definitely right. Black Panther is definitely one of them.
Honestly, like if I could get a throne for like a Wonder Woman figure, I would put her on it. So, like a Themysciran throne, like an Amazonian throne. How rad would that be?
Well, you know what I'm doing, bro. I don't have a throne, but I'm taking your shit and I'm putting my Mezco right up next to it. So it's like, her standing in front of her own statue and shit. I think that's gonna look dynamite.
Rob, did you get the Wonder Woman from Mezco, that the alternate one? The
classic? Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
you're damn right.
Awesome.
Good. We all look great. I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah. A lot of people were like, oh, this is boring. Every time I hear boring, stupid, I'm like, Marvel fanboy or millennial, go away. This is classics.
I'm a millennial. We're not all that bad.
I keep forgetting we're oldies compared to you, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like it's a cool looking figure. It's a nice like nod to like Linda Carter. And if you buy it and then you get the other one, just think of all the options you're gonna have for your display pieces.
Yeah.
She even looks a little golden age to me too. So it's like
exactly. It's almost like New Frontier. Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Darwin Cook. Yeah.
Oh God, love it. Anything with that is amazing. Mm-hmm. Here's something I actually considered for about 5 seconds of doing. I'll tell you why.
X-Files.
No, not because of the X-Files.
Californication.
There you go. I can't find this fucking head sculpt online, just the sculpt on eBay, like the official sculpt, not the knockoff. Wink, wink. And I can't find it. And I was like, I want to take this sculpt and I want to get a body, and I want to create a Hank Moody. Because I think that show is just like the fucking best role. My wife and I love
funniest show. Remember that episode with the monkey?
We were in the process of rewatching that show, and then they took it off fucking Netflix after having it for like 3 years.
It's off Netflix. What is it on now?
Yeah, we were like halfway through the first season, rewatching it a couple of months, like 2 months ago. It's not on anything. So now it's like I want to go.
Probably on Showtime because it's a Showtime show.
You have to what?
It's probably on Showtime.
Yeah, well, I'm not subscribed to that shit, and I'm just trying to find something to watch, like while I'm like laying in bed. So I may have to actually. That's like a series I would definitely buy because it's something I think that like you can revisit after like 3 or 4 years. I could like kind of dive right back into it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, you have to watch it. It's so funny. Like I never was a fan of this guy until I watched Californication. I thought he was kind of dry, but he is funny as hell, man.
A buddy of mine who would never watch a show like this was like, "Yo, watch Californication." Cutter put me onto it, Baz, and I was like, "Really? I don't know. It seems kind of like boring, like a little too adulty. I'm not really into TV shows like that, like come across like the way Arliss used to when I was a kid, back on those adult HBO shows, And then I watched it and I was like, "Holy shit! Not only is this show has great characters, it's hilarious, and the show." Could have had a subtitle called Hank Moody Gets Laid a Lot. That's like the subtext of the whole show, but it's really funny.
Yeah. Nice.
Kev's Matrix asked us Star Wars trailers thoughts. Yes, we're gonna try to get to that. I'm gonna zip through the rest of this spooktacular bullshit so we can just talk about the Star Wars trailer because that's like the biggest news this week.
Are we gonna check out Flash at all?
What, the TV show or the figure you mean, right? Yeah, let's go to the figure. Fuck it. Go to Spooktacular and spend money. Let me know what you guys buy and write it on the Facebook page and share your shit and we'll all sing Kumbaya.
Spooky specials.
Spookiness. Oh, goodness. Let's got to get to the main page. Oh, here we go. What's new?
That kind of looks like Laura, that girl.
No, with the
yeah.
I like that because she likes that type of art. When she saw that, she was like, "Oh, I like this."
I have a picture of her, both of us, and she's like that. I'll bust it out. I'll put it on Facebook.
I'm clicking on this just to look at it again because it's. I love this.
I really thought about getting it. It's really, really nice.
I don't like Bus, man, but that's so nice.
Yeah,
that might be like one of the best looking Wonder Womans, if not like second best to the other one that I already have. But this might be even better than that, like face sculpt wise. It's just.
It's Sony Crackle. Robert, just the fan.
Sony Crackle.
Yeah, he says he thinks they have it on Sony Crackle, and he wrote Cackle.
I know what he's talking about. Yeah. All right, I gotta check that out then. No, this already went up for pre-order, so this isn't coming soon. This has got to be in the latest releases.
Maybe click on Hot Toys.
Oh, yeah.
Hot Toys tab.
Toy. I should do that, right? Okay, here, Daredevil Shadowlands waitlisted already. They only made 150 of those.
There it is.
Where are we? Yep, here it is. Boom. Flash. I like that he comes with the two different. I don't like this red. I never liked the red look, even though it's weird. Like the first season of the Flash was the best. Yeah. Well, the first and second season were really good, but I liked his outfit in the second season when it obviously became more like Flash-like.
Yeah.
But
oh, it looks awesome.
What do you think, Baz?
He's great. I think they nailed it. They still haven't showed us the what you call it, the face sculpt without the mask.
Yeah, the alternate. Can you go back to that one where it's like a zoom in on the head?
Yes.
I'm looking at it, like the mask feels very thick, very football helmety, but I think that's just a material thickness. That's probably the thinnest they could make it without having issues in quality control.
Right.
So I get it. But.
So then why wouldn't they do this then? Here you go, Mr. Action Figure Designer Extraordinaire. Why wouldn't they just sculpt the face and the head as one piece as opposed to having the face behind it so that they could actually make it as small as they need to?
I'm sure they have their reason. I can't think of it right now. And the other reason is that maybe they just didn't think of it. Oh. That happens sometimes. The people who make your toys are humans and they don't think of these great ideas that you guys come up with.
They think they're geniuses. And you can look at it for 5 seconds and be like, yeah, why wouldn't you just do this?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see what else they got. I didn't even know that they had.
He's got the energy store thing, whatever that's called.
The thing that he puts on his emblem, right?
Yeah, that thing.
It gives them extra speed.
What I like about this is that like you can see the pants have like that pleathery looking material, but anywhere under the arms and then like where you would pose in the elbows, it's more material. So you and like in the shoulders, in case you wanted to put his arms forward, you're not gonna have to worry about this stuff like wearing out or cracking on you.
Yeah, that's great.
Now this is the Flash, bro, not that Justice League clown.
Don't say that. Julio might have a heart attack and drop dead watching.
Now, look, I love Justice League too.
Oh, and it
Come
comes
on.
with Jay Garrick.
Yeah, Jay Garrick,
awesome.
baby.
That is freaking awesome.
That's great.
Love that. Love it. And I didn't even know they were going to make an alternate head for him. So that's pretty cool because I would probably have him with the like the mask down with the actor's face showing. That's pretty good.
That's a really cool figure. I really liked that show for a long time. And then I saw the episode where he talks to his powers for an hour, and I decided to be done.
And that is, you know who wrote that? Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, I know.
Unbelievable. This guy, the same guy that had Bill. I love Kevin Smith, and this is the same guy that had Batman piss the Batsuit.
I know.
Oh.
Was that the episode with the Speed Force?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Kevin Smith was crying afterwards and all that stuff. He was crying there.
Oh, God. What a bunch of bullshit.
No, I like most of his stuff. You know,
I do too.
He doesn't always hit though. That's for
Here's
sure.
a more close-up look of that life-size Batman bust. Well, that's the size it's going to be, so it's pretty much.
Julio just responded. Put it up.
Hold on. Excuse me. Let me take my ears off. Oh God. Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. We said that at the same time. Gay. Right. Batman from where?
This is Justice League Batman in his tack suit, but this is that life-size, super realistic bust.
That's cool.
You know,
I never realized how big he was in that suit. I feel like he kind of looks skinnier in that one, but you see that bust, you're like, holy crap, he's ginormous.
Yeah, I don't. I can't.
That looks real.
Yeah, dude, it's a Madden Tassans basically. I can't think of spending the amount of money that this costs as much as my first car, and I know I'm going back like I don't know 18 years ago, but
yeah,
it still costs the same as my first car, and that's just outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
All those flash lighting, extremely fragile. FYI, yeah. If they use the same, the problem with that flash lightning, if they use the same type of material that they used for the Count Dooku lightning effects, I had a problem with the Count Dooku lightning effects because they weren't sturdy enough. They weren't hard enough. They were kind of flimsy. So when you pointed Count Dooku's hand out like this and had the lightning coming out, after about 10 minutes, it starts to sag and it looks like a flaccid penis. Like it just kind of just droops down, you know. So whatever. And so I wanted it to be hard like rock, you know. So I would hope that the Flash's stuff is like that, so it doesn't get like that wilted flower look.
His eyes look really intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible, man. I think even the hair on his face is like rooted too. Like the actual like stubble is like real like rooted stubble.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's him compared to a real person. So he's bigger than me.
I like that person. Like
what?
Shit. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, 37.4 inches tall. Hold on a second, guys. Give me
That's
1
3
second.
feet 1 inches or whatever. Yeah.
That's 37 point whatever. Here's the ruler. 37 point whatever inches. That's this tall.
Back up farther. Wow.
That's
Longer than your torso.
This is from the top of my head to like where my nuts start.
Dude, you buy him and you put him in your window. Okay. Who the hell is gonna friggin' break into a friggin' house that has Batman in the fucking window?
Watching.
What?
Batman's literally watching over your house.
Rob, is that
That'd
a
be great.
death-proof shirt?
Is that the what?
Is that a death-proof shirt?
Yes, it is.
My man.
Just started watching that yesterday.
One of my favorites,
in the
bro.
household.
As a matter of fact, it seems like week to week we drop like little old school Rob used to be a rapper hints. And here's one of my AKAs was actually Stuntman Mike.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said Death Note. I thought you said Death Note, the anime.
Bro, that's proof.
Death Proof.
All right, let's talk. Let me get out of this screen share bullshit. Again, let us know during the week what you bought from Sideshow and whatever. Okay. Yeah, Archie. And I want to address Archie real quick. Hey Jenny, what is the size dimensions of this Batman? Really long by really wide. That's all you need to know. It's just a lot by a lot, a whole lot more.
It's the size of a dude.
Yeah, like it's the size of Ben Affleck, basically. Like it's like a legit 1-to-1 scale Ben Affleck thing. Archie, I know you collect a lot of Marvel Legends and you do action figure hunts. Everybody go subscribe to Archie too if you're into like action figure hunting and stuff like that. Once you start doing this hot toy stuff, and I don't even know, you might even have a couple hot toys in the statues. You're gonna kind of like, I don't know, man. You might want to stay away from that. I tell you the same thing everybody told me. Don't do it. Okay, so anyways, moving along. Let's close the show off with the Star Wars trailer. What did you guys think? I'm going to give Baz the floor, then kick it to Kyle. I'll give my response after.
All right.
Baz?
What did I think? Well, it didn't really give you any hint of what the story's about whatsoever, which I guess is good. You know, I mean, especially you, Rob. You like to be surprised, right?
Oh yeah. I don't even want to watch the trailer. The only reason why I even watched the trailer was because of the show. Otherwise, I would not have watched it.
I mean, they showed us a glimpse of the Emperor's throne, which looked really cool as fuck.
You want why did it look cool? Because it's a
Macquarie design.
Yep.
Yeah. So, other than that, I don't know. I'm hopeful. I hope they wrap up the story well, and they make up for the failure of the second movie, and we'll see. I mean, everyone knows I can't. You know, I hate The Last Jedi with a passion. I'm still upset over it. What is it? 2 years later? Is it 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still rant about it. I think about it all the time. I hate it with all my soul. So, but I love Star Wars. I hate it because I love Star Wars so much. Yeah, Rob. Nice egghead.
He's taking over from me. He's not talking about The Last Jedi. So
that's the egghead. That's a potato head. But I love Star Wars. I don't enjoy hating Star Wars. So I hope it's a good movie. Hopefully. So that's it. But the trailer didn't show us much. They showed us C-3PO saying, "What do you say? You know, I want to say, look at my friends for the last time." So something's going to happen to him, and I find it odd that he called them his friends, since he really didn't spend much screen time with them. So to me, I didn't really have much feeling with it. Oh, space horses. Okay, what the hell's horses? Whatever. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. That. I think Jaina was on one of those horses, Jaina, and she's what's his name's daughter,
Lando, right?
Lando's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So whatever, we'll see. I hate The Last Jedi. Next.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Definitely agree with Baz. The more I think about Last Jedi, the less I like it. I will watch it again before this movie just to remind myself, but I haven't seen it again since I saw it in the theaters. You know, I guess I didn't feel the things that they wanted me to feel watching that trailer. You could tell that they were like trying to hit those buttons or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, here's what you need. I feel like Force Awakens and even Last Jedi had less trailers than this. And to me, like the more trailers you have for a movie, the more desperate the studio appears.
Yes, totally agree.
So like, is Disney worried that no one's going to go see it? I know that Solo underperformed and Galaxy's Edge isn't doing what they had hoped, I guess.
The problem, let me address that real quick, because I have a guy who's like an expert on all things Disney that I work with, and he like literally goes there like 2-3 times a year. He's like a travel agent and all this bullshit. The problem with Galaxy's Edge, and I don't think that they did a good enough job explaining this to the public, because a lot of people, especially like Nick Knack, when he did his walkthrough and his review of it, was I'm going to go to Star Wars land and experience Star Wars. I want to see Luke. I want to see the Stormtroopers. I want to see this and that. That's not what this was. This was what we're creating a literal world in the Star Wars canon, and it's supposed to be like an experience where like he was like, dude, even when you go up to like buy something, and you're like, they say like how many, like how much, and they're like, 20 credits, and you're like, I only have like, is $50 good? And they're like, we don't know what dollars is. Like they're all trained to be in character, and they're in this world. And he was like you want to take a picture with Ray, like your kids want to take a picture with Ray, good luck finding her, because she just pops out, like waves and hangs out for a few minutes, and then as soon as the stormtroopers walk by, she bounces and disappears. And it's like the stormtroopers like talk to you, like get in line, you're not allowed to drink that here. Like they kind of police things as if they were like really in charge. And he was like, you're not going there to see like all your old it's not Star Wars greatest hits. It's supposed to be an experience as if you're stepping onto a planet in the Star Wars canon universe right now in modern Star Wars terms.
Yeah.
So like
I don't think if they understood that would make a difference.
Well, I think that if they would have let them know ahead of time, like this is the experience they're selling, that people wouldn't be going there and going like, oh, where are my heroes? Or, oh, how come like this isn't there? Or they have the canteen you can go into, and I've seen people comment like that wasn't the Star Wars cantina. Because they think they're going into the cantina from Tatooine, and they're not. It's their own thing. It's like everything is its own original creation there in the Star Wars universe. So it's like an expansion novel, and it's canon. Like whatever happens there is literal canon in the Star Wars universe.
Even Kyle's yawning. See?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
That does nothing.
I don't know, because I've been there a bunch of times, and it used to be my favorite thing. And last time I was at Disneyland, I was 28. I'm 29 now, and last time I was there, like my favorite thing to do still is to go to Tomorrowland, ride Star Tours,
right?
See what I get, and then like there's a little cafe thing like near Star Tours that they have like what they call Jedi training there, and like kids can line up, volunteer to like get in line, and then like they bring all the kids back. They all give them little Jedi robes and like a fake lightsaber or whatever. And then these like two performer people like dressed up as Jedi. One dude like sort of looks like Mace Windu, and the other guy is just like a random Jedi. And they like teach the kids lightsaber moves and stuff. And it's like, all right, down, thrust,
right,
duck, jump, that type of stuff. And then in the middle of it, the stage rises up, and out comes Darth Vader and like stormtroopers and Darth Maul and shit. And then
you hear, "Can't touch this." Doom, 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 doom.
But then like the kids use the training that they learned from that Jedi Master to fight Darth Vader.
That's cool.
Like do the moves, and it's like so fucking cool. And you can see these kids like believe it and stuff, and it's like amazing. And it's like that was always my favorite thing, because like that's what the magic is about.
Right.
Like give those.
There's a video of a little kid and Darth Vader, and it's a little girl like goes down on one knee so Darth Vader will like knight her. It's really hysterical.
She's
like
swearing.
He didn't.
It's the best. Like, and that's so cool. And then just that's not going to be there anymore because of this Galaxy's Edge thing, which is fine. And I'm excited to see like the world in like buy my lightsaber, get my blue milk or whatever. But like I don't know, yeah, like Star Wars is is a blanket that you put on when you want to feel good, and
right.
You get to hang out with your friends again. Like the fact that you can't like find Darth Vader and like take a picture with him seems like a missed opportunity to me.
Right. Yeah. No, I
think this stuff is very expensive also.
Yeah.
Oh well, forget it. That's a whole nother fucking conversation. So all right, Kyle, the trailer. It's
so I saw it, and I just don't think I had the response that Disney was hoping I would have.
Right. I did not. This trailer, I wasn't disappointed by it. It did not make me feel that I like The Last Jedi. So the Last Jedi trailer, the Force Awakens trailer, I was all in, like super pumped. Like when I saw Han and Chewie were home, I was like, I remember seeing that with Laura, and we were banging our hands on the table and all like, oh my God. So we were pumped. I didn't get any of that from this. I actually like the first two trailers for this better than this third trailer. But when C-3PO does say like I'm staring at my friends for the last time, somebody tweeted recently like that he's talking to us, like a meta commentary. And when I was like, oh shit, like, and I rewatched it again.
I don't want meta commentary anymore. That's the Last Jedi realm stuff. No, thank you. Kill the past. That was the meta commentary for that movie.
Yeah.
And see how well that did for them.
I think it looks cool. I think, seeing the Emperor is going to be pretty cool again, I guess.
I'm not sure how I feel, but it looks like, you're going to see Mecha Emperor.
Yeah, I saw that like robot type weird thing going on.
You will.
Rising above her.
That's in the leaks.
Yeah.
There are leaks out there, and it looks like a lot of them are true, according to the trailer.
Yeah, I know. PJ was sending. He's like, "You want to see Star Wars spoilers?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Good, sending them now." And I was like, "You asshole."
Did you see the fake, deep fake George Lucas response to the trailer?
No, I didn't watch it.
My God, it is the funniest thing I've put on the internet in a long time.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a watch. I don't need to see that asshole either. He's jaded. Prequels.
The Jack Kirby of Star Wars, the guy who just created the whole damn thing.
Yeah, no, I know he is the master creator, but whatever. So yeah, it kind of left me. It didn't left. I was excited. I was like, "Oh, yeah, this looks cool," but I wasn't like, "Oh man, oh man, oh man," the way I was for the other two trailers.
Yeah, I agree.
So. But everything does still look. It looks cool. I mean, it looks like you're gonna get all the everything. The problem I think that this movie's gonna have is I'm afraid that this is gonna be 2.5 hours of checking off boxes. Who's Rey's parents legitimately? Why did she do this legitimately? What happened to the Emperor? Okay, here are all your questions that we could possibly answer.
Dude, they have to answer those. Come on, they can't not answer that.
Yeah,
and just end the whole story. That would totally destroy Star Wars.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't think you get all the answers because I think that Disney is going to be watch our cartoon, read our books.
They're gonna then forget it. It's done.
Yeah. Did you guys see Freddie Prinze Jr. did a rant about?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
That actually made a whole lot of sense. He could have been a little nicer about it, but I think I agree with most of his points.
Yeah. Now his thing about Star Wars is for kids is bullshit because ever since I was a little kid, I hated shit that was for kids, and I love Star Wars. Okay, so that it's impossible that it's just for kids.
We're gonna send you to the YouTube headquarters when they try to ban us for toy reviews. I'm not a fucking kid, raw.
No, I hate it. It was Ed, and Eddie is for kids. Okay, that's for kids. But Star Wars, no, that's for all ages. That shit was edgy.
25 when that show was on.
Huh?
What? Weren't you 25 when Ed?
Probably, yeah.
But so that's it.
I didn't fucking watch it. I just saw it in the peripheral.
Force goes check. Again, everybody, it's getting late here. It's actually 9:00 on the dot. We've been going for 2 hours. Amazing, time flies. I did not expect to do this. I thought we were going to do an hour and 10 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I got to move that burger, guys.
Yes, guys, thank you for joining us. Obviously, Kyle, it's been awesome to have you on again. It's been a while. And, we'll be seeing you again in the future, I'm sure. Everybody else.
Hey, good seeing you, Kyle, man.
Yeah, you too, man.
Have an awesome Halloween. We're doing the Halloween episode next week.
Nice.
And for those of you that have been with us since last year, we already talked about our favorite this and our favorite that. But maybe we'll do it again. Who the fuck knows? Enjoy the rest of Spooktacular. Keep yourselves abreast of those code drops. And we're going to be announcing the winner of the Sideshow. It's not a Sideshow giveaway. It's actually just shit that I had lying around that happens to be Sideshow. And those horror comics, we'll be doing that on Monday probably. So there's a huge broken promise. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Take care. Brush your hair. And make sure you like the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Much love. And we will see you next week. Don't know if we're on live Friday or Saturday. Peace out.
Peace out. Take care, guys.
See you.